So hello again. Now I'm very fortunate today because this lovely person at IWC, they've actually allowed me to come inside and I can actually video these watches. Now, so I'm very grateful that they've allowed me to do this because it's so cool. Now, I think I may have said on another video, this Pilot is IWC's new Pilot watch, and it's the reference 388113. Now, I've had this watch, in fact I had this watch 20 years ago when it had the reference 3706 and it was 39mm. Now at that time I really liked that watch, and there is a story to that, and I'll perhaps talk about that another time. But anyway, over the years the Pilot watch has increased in size, so this model increased to 43mm, and I always liked it, but I thought it was better a little bit smaller. And I said to myself, when IWC released this model in a smaller version, or maybe even the original 39mm, you know, it would probably attract my attention. Now, I actually saw this being released, I think it was last year, or it might have been again this year, and because this has some upgrades that are really quite fantastic. Well, they appeal to a person like me. Number one, it's 41mm. So it's a lot closer to the 39mm of the original Pilot that I had, the 3706. Now, actually, I've shown you the case back, and because that was the real draw. Anyway, so originally the size, you know, really got me because I really love this size, and and if I put it on my wrist now, you can probably see that, you know, that just looks so good, and also they've updated the bracelet. So even though the bracelet on the original was very good, I can tell you this bracelet is lovely. It's very comfortable, it's finished very well, and I know that there's a very fancy length, I forget the name, but you press this button and the strap goes in and out, and you know, on a hot day when your wrist, you know, can increase in size, that function is very usable. But you can just see how nice this bracelet is. Anyway, the main thing is, you know, this Pilot watch, this Pilot chronograph, because this style has been around for a long time, and IWC probably are one of the most well-known brand names for the Pilot watch chronograph, especially this. So a lot of people will recognize this face and recognize this watch. So I saw the size and that instantly got my interest. Plus I learnt that the lug width was 20mm, and so it means that the bracelets are a little not as wide, and that appealed to me. But then I found out it had a quick release system on the bracelet. And I know that if you press that button there, the bracelet actually comes off. It's absolutely great if you're a bit of a strap monster like I am. And I thought, okay, so we have a 41mm case, we have the quick release strap, which is a desirable thing, and then I saw the open case back. Seeing IWC's new movement through that case back was the real draw for me. And I thought to myself, hold on, you know, this is such a great watch. It's actually a watch that I really do want. Anyway, because I was in IWC, I thought I have to look at the Portuguese range also, because I know that they've just released, so this is their classic Portuguese chronograph, and I've also owned this watch. Now, when I had it, it had the leather strap, but of course, you know, it was inevitable that they were probably going to make a bracelet for this, and there it is. And I think this is also a quick release, and they've added the display case back. So straight away, you know, looking at this, I thought, oh no, not only do I want the Pilot, you know, I also want this Portugueser. And I thought, oh, well, I'm having such a terrible day, because I'm thinking, how, you know, what damage is this going to cause the bank account? And then, you know, things could going to get worse. I look at the 7-day Portugueser. Now, what's amazing, well, what I find amazing about this watch is it has a very special movement. And I believe IWC are one of the pioneers in this 7-day power reserve, because this is the latest 7-day Portuguese, and I think it's 42mm case, so it's only a little smaller than the Portuguese chronograph. Someone like me that really likes the 42mm size watches. I mean, I like big watches as well, but you know, I particularly like this size. But the 7-day power reserve is something that I think on the dial is such a useful, pleasant feature. And of course, this has a display case back. So you can see this large, very fabulous movement, because what they've been able to do is to get the power out of the two, so they have two mainsprings, and they've been able to get a more controlled release of that power. So over the 7 days, the accuracy remains much better than older versions that would start off quick and then go slow, but this has a more controlled power release, and it's very, very good. Anyway, IWC, once again, they were so nice in letting me come inside and showing you these watches, and you know, you can see that, you know, how super they are. And you know, I feel like a child in a sweet shop, you know, wanting to try all the sweets. But these are, you know, 3 watches that I really like, and you know, I'm thinking out aloud here, but I'm thinking, you know, how could I own these? Because they are super. Anyway, the Pilot is my favourite, and it also goes on the leather strap, and you know, hopefully there'll be a video to come with this on the leather strap. But anyway, I just wanted to show you these watches like this, and I hope it's been interesting, and there you go. Thanks to IWC for letting me do this, and I'll say bye for now.